everybody has a story. Everybody. Now it's obvious, but it's obvious when you think about it intellectually. But often it's not obvious when we are acting. Because maybe you see somebody and the person is quiet. And the person is quiet and you think to the person, maybe what happened? What could this person possibly have to say to me? But everybody has a story. And most people, if not everybody, want to share that story. Everybody has a story. Most people want to share that story. And you have to give them a reason to share that story on your platform. You have to give them a reason. Now, to give them the reason, it can't be about your platform, it must be about their needs. It's not about your platform, it's about their needs. Some people in Nigeria, some leaders in Nigeria will never share their story. Why? Because they don't feel like it serves their interest to share their story in this political economy. Yeah. So in this particular context, there is no incentive. And so if you are just calling them, sir, I want to interview, unless there is a context for him to do that, he's not going to want to do that. She's not going to want to do that. That's why many of our top politicians don't want to talk to the media and certainly don't do interviews. Because they think to themselves, what is the need for me? And what's in it for me is one of the most important things I learned in booking guests. What's in it for me? When I started doing documentaries, I just realized that most people wanted to be paid before they spoke up.
Yes.
And for news documentary, I was uncomfortable with that because it felt as if I was buying the story. But then I realized that I'm not the first person coming here to extract their stories from them. And in this society, after stories are extracted, situations don't change. So for that person, she's thinking, why should I give? So I'm going to make him a star. He's going to use my story to shine. But what happens to my life? And so I made a decision to switch it, to say, okay, when we decide we're going to talk to somebody, we're going to look at the person's life situation. We're going to book them first. We're going to look at their life situation and think, how can we help them before we bring the camera? How can we help them before we bring the camera? And so what often happens is the energy of the interaction changes. They no longer feel like you're coming to extract. They feel like you understand their lives. And then they are more cooperative. For one of the documents we did, we went to Jonathan's village. There was an old woman who was just sitting down there looking at us funny. Just looking at us funny. She wasn't part of the people selected. And so I liked her because she had the TV look. As I walked up to her and sat down with her and said, Mommy, what did I do? You know, the best for me. And she said, the best for you. All of them want to come for Lagos. They ask us questions. When I finish asking us questions, we'll just come out. I said, Mommy, that's the way you talk. How you talk for camera? Where you're picking me? And we stay gisting. She said, I don't call your camera. I said, Mommy, no, what are you picking me? Make me talk, you're picking me. We start talking. I said, after you went your camera. I knew she wanted to share her story. I knew the way she was looking at us, she wanted to share her story. That insight has been seasoned because this next year will be 25 years of working in the media. And it's going to be seasoned by seeing it happen too many times. So sometimes people look at our show with Chude and they think, well, how does he get these guests? I started getting these guests when I was 17. And so one of the reasons why my boss loved me was I would have guests that would not come. I mean, telling the show was far from where the elite were living on both sides. But the person would come, Ibrahim Mantu would come, General Adisa would come. And the first thing they would say is, madam, don't lose this boy. He harassed me until I came. That was one. Or the second thing they would say was, this one thing people say on my show, and it just hits me now, they've been saying it for years. They would say, I've never said this anywhere before. Yeah. And I started hearing I've never said this anywhere before when I was 17. I remember one day that the Masters came on YouTube in 2002. And the internet had just come to Nigeria and I was a researcher. So I Googled, had gone to the 15th page on Google. I would say the best researchers don't stop at page 1, 2, 3. The first researchers I start at page 20. Because you're looking for something that nobody else And I stumbled upon an email that Stella Damasus had written to Oprah that she thought her, I think she didn't know how to use the internet. She thought when you are in a forum, it's a private thing. But it was published. So I went down and I found it. And then Fumi just said, so I want to talk to you about your letter to Oprah. So I said, this is Juju. This is Juju. How do you know I wrote a letter to Oprah? But just the depth. So what happened when that happened is that people feel, okay, this person is taking me seriously. That's what I'm still coming to. So what's in it for me to get them in? Do you take me seriously to get them to talk? One of the documentaries we released is Awaiting Trial. Obiano Chilonya and her family were brothers has disappeared for 10, this will be the 11th year. And when I met the parents, the thing the parents kept saying was, nobody has treated us like human beings, like you've done. Now they have been interviewed across board. I wasn't the first person to report this story. You know, I don't want to call, because what they said feels critical, I don't want to call them off the platforms and I've met them. But what happened when I came in, I felt like these people had been over-interviewed. So they already had their defenses up. Just they have been over-interviewed. Because it's a very attractive story. You know, young man kidnapped by SARS, goes missing for 10 years, sister is protesting. So most of what reporters would do when they came, they just go straight to the matter. And I said, no. I just want to understand. I first said to them, I'm comfortable if you don't want to share. Now, when you make such a promise, you can't be lying because some people will take you up on it. So yesterday, I was talking to a policewoman who was trying to get as a source of the story. And she said to me, oh, my job. She cancelled at the last minute. She said, oh, my job. And I said to her, no, auntie. She's not my auntie. Auntie, no. I've done this before. I can hide your face. You can back the camera. And I was saying that, she said, okay, send me one of the old ones. You've closed the person's face. And I thought, Kai, this man is so smart. But if I was lying, I would have lost credibility. Yeah. Because we had, in Awaiting Trial, the policeman's face was completely dark. So I took a video of it and sent it to her and confirmed. What I'm saying is that at the end of the day, it's about human beings. If you have that as the foundation of guest booking and story sourcing, it doesn't fail. Everybody has a story. Everybody wants to share the story. You create the conditions for them to want to share the story with you. That's the end of my presentation.